Something to take into account now when we talk about utilisation. And in actual fact, the MPD is based on a particular utilisation. Different aircraft, different utilisation. So imagine that we have a typical utilisation for a 737 of 3,500 hours per year. If we deviate from this 3,500 hours by more than 25%, the maintenance planning document is not valid for that particular configuration. What does that mean? Well, 25% of 3,500 is approximately, if we take it to 3,600, it'd be approximately 900 hours. We take 900 hours away, we come down to 2,400 hours. So if you're doing less than 2,400 hours, it may not be the correct maintenance program for you. It's unlikely that you're going to be doing an additional 25% on top of 3,600. Highly unlikely. But certainly, what happens if you're only doing 1,000 hours? Well, then the maintenance program is not correct for your aeroplane. And to give you an example, a business jet will typically do about 500 hours in a year. Thereabouts. 400 to 600. So if I have a 737 and I'm using it as a business jet, and I have another 737 and I'm using it as a low cost, high intensity, one aircraft is doing 3,500 hours in a year, one aircraft is doing 500 hours. Okay? It's okay. The aircraft that's doing 3,500, I've got a task, and it's a lubrication task to be performed at 3,000 hours. Means about 10 months. And the lubrication task, as we spoke about, very important to maintain the effectiveness of the process. On my other aeroplane, if I leave it the same, that task that that guy's doing at 10 months, I'm going to do it 6 years. During the 6 years, my aeroplane has stood around and in the wind and the rain and goodness knows what, and the lubrication is no longer doing its job. So I'm getting enhanced deterioration. So it doesn't work. So I've got to change the maintenance program. And what happens? The tasks in the maintenance program are changed from hours to calendar. For example, 3,600 hours or 18 months. So now I will do that task at 18 months when my aircraft has done, in actual fact, 750 hours. I have to do that task. So what we understand then is that lower utilization aeroplanes actually have more maintenance per flying hour than higher utilization aeroplanes, because they have more activities that are driven by calendar time. This is the process. Imagine you have an aeroplane, it's not flying, but you want to keep that aeroplane serviceable. So you have a maintenance program that's applicable to that aeroplane. For example, every week you will run the engines, you will operate the air conditioning system. Exactly. Every week, as one example. But in terms of how many hours has that airplane flown? 0. So the tasks are being driven by calendar time, not by aircraft hours.